Okay, this is one take of.
Austin's birthday episode.
Yeah, it's late, but better late than never.
Exactly.
Alright, let's get to
It's
it.
still your birthday.
It is still my birthday. We haven't like the last of my birthday, because like it's already not my birthday in Detroit anymore.
Well, we're in LA.
Yeah, so
So
I
it
get
doesn't
extra
even
birthday time.
Exactly.
Extra birthday time. Wait, it still is my birthday in Detroit.
Did you know that Detroit is in my top 3 for moving post-grad?
Really?
I want to do Teach for America. I either
Yeah.
want to do Houston or Detroit, but then maybe Chicago. But it's either Houston or Detroit.
Houston got really.
I
Both of them are
love
nice.
Texas. I love Texas.
I haven't been to Texas.
I love Houston,
I
but
haven't been.
but you have to go. It's like the cowboy stuff. Like it's amazing.
Yeah, I might slide out there this summer.
But Detroit seems like it would be cool because I feel like there's a lot of spaces. Like there's probably a lot of educational and equity there, and that's like I want to make sure that I'm going to a place where I'm like teaching Black kids.
It is a lot of educational.
Yeah, because like for me, like teachers. I would not be here if I did not have teachers who like invested in me and actually cared about like teaching me and like making sure that I succeeded.
Yeah.
And I want to be that person for other people, and I love little kids, and like I feel like it would be a cool opportunity. But I'm still scared of the cold, and I've also never been to Detroit.
So true. So like with Detroit, you got your little pockets of like. Yes, it's crime ridden, but like
Who cares?
you got your pockets of that.
I'll
Oh,
be
you grew up in
fine.
LA.
Yeah, I don't care. I
you're
was
good.
born in Inglewood. Like
Oh, yeah. So you're good. You're
yeah,
fine.
I don't. There's gonna be crime and stuff everywhere, and
True.
I feel like if you're
So, yeah.
scared to go in those spaces, even though you have the capacity to help, like
You miss out on a lot.
you're never exactly.
Because
And
yeah.
it's a different type of. It's still community. There's a different type of community, and everything comes from somewhere, and there's a reason that crime and all of that stuff exists.
Yeah.
But once again, like you're too scared to ever, try. Then
You just,
exactly, no
I
point.
feel like within it is a lot of culture. Like
Hell yeah.
I love Detroit.
Hell yeah.
Like
Hell yeah.
to be from there is like I get like an automatic advantage.
Do they call it the Big D?
The Big D. I don't think so. We call it the city. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh.
you from the city. Like,
If I went, I'd start calling it the Big D.
the Big D. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably tourists call it the Big D. I ain't never heard nobody call it.
Yeah, no, I did make that up because it just sounds like it would fit, but
It's tough though.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, in terms of like education, it can use a lot of help. But
yeah,
I feel
like in public schools.
you would fit in
think
like
so, too.
a good Detroit. Like you can be like,
Oh my god.
and you don't even have to stay like directly in the city, but you would fit in like Grosse Pointe, Royal Oak.
Are those like bougie places?
They not bougie,
Okay,
but
I
they're
was
not
gonna
like
say, don't just
they
say.
can get bougie, but
Uh-huh.
it's like a lot of they doing a lot of gentrification.
See, I'm also just not. I don't like gentrification, and
Yeah.
it's happening all over the country. It's
Yeah.
happening in South Los Angeles and Inglewood. Well, that's in South Los Angeles. It's happening in the South Side of Chicago.
Mhm.
It's happening in Houston, and obviously, I know that like to a certain extent, Black people or the people who live there forever, like they're gonna benefit from it, but
Mhm.
not to the extent that the people moving in are benefiting. And I don't know. I think that Black people deserve to live in nice spaces and to have nice things,
Mhm.
and it sucks that it takes white people moving in and kicking most of them out for that
Yeah.
to happen. Like, I just don't agree with that.
I tell you, cause okay, so I work for the nonprofit Sound Mind, Sound Body. That's the one I grew up like in.
And if I went there, I would
yeah,
get
you
involved
would
with
love
that.
it.
Yeah.
So, one thing I was learning over the summer while I was doing like research to
Yeah.
because we trying to expand or like we trying to open up this big center in the
Uh-huh.
middle of like
That's
the
amazing.
hood.
That's so cool. That's like my dream to
Yeah.
have in downtown LA.
So what you learn is that the blight going on like within those areas is what's driving the poverty. So,
The blight.
Yeah, so blight is like abandoned houses, broken
I see.
windows,
I see.
abandoned cars, things like that. Being around sort of keep poverty where it is.
Yeah.
Because if you see it, you think it's okay.
Exactly.
Right. So
Yeah.
the white people come in and cleaning that up is
Right.
what's flipping these properties.
Right.
And another thing we noticed is that blight also contribute to like the health in that area.
100%.
Cause what you'll notice is it's no Kroger's over there. It's
Food deserts, and that's a
There's no
huge
Targets
thing.
over there.
Exactly. That's why
There's
people
nothing.
think that veganism and eating healthy is for white people.
Yeah,
No, it's for everyone.
It's nothing, and they just don't have access to that.
Yeah, exactly.
And they go to these not mom and pop grocery stores.
Yeah.
'Cause I love these grocery stores
Yeah.
myself. They all smell weird.
Yeah, I
But
know
like
what
they
you're
got
talking
everything
about.
you need, but
Right.
a lot of the food in there be fucking expired.
Right.
It be not. I don't want to make it seem like branded food should be a thing, but it's
I know
like
what you're talking about.
it's just
Yeah.
stuff in there. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? There's nothing healthy in there.
Right.
You eat a lot of junk food. The junk food really affordable, so you get kids raised on honey
Exactly.
buns and candy.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah.
It sucks. Like that's it. I obviously like want to go into like my career. I want to be able to address and fix stuff like that.
Mhm.
But it sucks that for me, because I want it to be all taken care of and I want everyone to have equal or equitable opportunity and
Mhm.
have the chances and the privilege to like be their best selves. Like it's almost impossible to get it all fixed.
Yeah.
And to be in a position where you can do that is really hard because the whole system of like politics and business and stuff. But yeah, it sounds like you have to get really rich and buy up the land and take care of it yourself.
Not really. It's really one thing at a time. So I'll tell you this: with the nonprofit, what we have done is we started really small.
Mhm.
Like Sound Mind, Soundbody started really small. My dad was like on the board of
Very cool.
like the board of founders, so he was a
Yeah.
part of that small group, just trying to make a difference. And
Now I want to go to Detroit and like visit Sound Mind, Sound Body.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. They were just out here. They came to USC.
How did I miss that?
I don't know. It was we got like the travel football team. They came to USC. Like 5 of them got offered by the football team.
That's awesome.
Like, we got like really good guys, and now like Detroit is getting a lot more exposure for sports too.
Wow.
I can get in that later, but with Sound Mind, Somebody to give you a visualization on how it sort of works is it started in 2004, so like right around when I was born, and they started with just football camps.
Yeah.
Like my uncles played in the NFL, and so or they played competitive like D1. It was really good growing up.
Yeah.
Really good football players. Let's get these football camps, get it started, right? So football camp, cool, get it started. And we had a little league team, but that didn't come until 2010, 2011 almost. And so with these football camps, you sort of grow like your brand. So Sound Mind, Somebody, your name can take you a long way.
Right.
So people in the city, especially, gonna support you because they know who you are
Right.
and like what you've done or like what your parents done. So my uncle Kurt got these football camps and he started utilizing like his name, image, and likeness to get people to come to these camps.
Yeah.
So it started with that, and then we ended up partnering with like Wayne State, and so Wayne State started hosting the football camps, and then that was blowing up, and we would get coaches to come, and I'll get into the updated like the coaches that's coming now, but we would get coaches to come, but we getting kids out there. We end up signing with Adidas.
Right.
So we got a contract with Adidas. We're getting all these kids in. These kids are succeeding and they coming back. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you build this feedback loop. You build your name, your credibility up, and then what happened after that? And we sent guys to the NFL. So we got guys going into the NFL.
Did
outside
Amon St. Brown go through that?
Yes, but I don't say Brown from out here. But the guy who trains him.
Oh, I see. Okay, he plays for
the guy who trains him is connected with our program. Like, really good guy. Jeff Johnson, really good guy. And I met him on a whim. Like, that was crazy. That's another crazy story. I met him, so it was a USC, UCLA, like, Eastside barbecue. And I was at the park, like, just shooting around. And this dude was like, yo, I like your jumper. This is a random guy. He's like, I like your jumper, this, and that. He was just sitting there watching me shoot. I'm shooting. Yeah, you tough. And so I don't think he thinking I'm from out there in LA. So like he was walking away. He was like, man, good job. Do what you do or whatever. And I was like, man, no, I'm not even from out here. I'm from Detroit.
Yeah.
And then so a guy on the opposite side of the park is like, Detroit? Man, I love Detroit. And he's like, what you know about Detroit? And I was like, what you know about Detroit? So I go over there, I talk to him. He's like, where you from? I'm like, from the east side. He's like, yeah, I know some guys from out there. And somehow I got on the topic of, yeah, my cousin is like Will Johnson. And he was like, what? I was like, yeah, Deion Johnson. Yeah, that's my cousin, my uncle. That's my people. He was like, I forgot how he said, you know, Curtis Blackwell. I'm like, yeah, that's my uncle. He was like, what? That's not your uncle. I'm like, yeah, it is my uncle. And so he ended up calling him. And he was like, what up? I'm like, what up, Uncle Kurt? He's like, oh, it's the money ass. So it was like, it was crazy. And so he sort of took me in and like that immediate connection. And that come from the program in itself.
Yeah.
So imagine how many more connections we got like with kids like just under that. So back to Detroit, we're doing these football camps. We got the little league team. And skipping a little bit forward, my Uncle Kurt ended up working at Michigan State, and so he became the head of recruitment or something like that. I think he was like the head of recruitment at Michigan State. I might be wrong, but he was recruiting kids, and so now he in that position, and with the kids he know in the inner city, boom, I'm throwing you the offer. You know what I'm saying? Getting you in, I'm getting you looks. Even if you can't get to Michigan State, I'm gonna get you to a D2 school. I'm gonna get you this. I'm gonna get you that. But him working that and using them conversations to talk to them coaches one kid at a time, you know what I'm saying, sort of propelled us to get like a little bit more exposure. So now we being able to be seen on the Division I level. Some stuff went down. Michigan State ended up trying to blame some stuff on him that wasn't his fault, which it was with another one of my cousins. It's so crazy how it's happened, but I don't even want to expose the story. It was stupid. It's one of them. Yeah. She said this. They did that type of story. So they ended up trying to pin that on him. He ended up leaving Michigan State. Left Michigan State. Came back to the city or whatever. Kept working. We getting these kids out. Boom. This and that, and like skipping forward to like now, because I don't want to talk about this though. Yeah. We get like Division I coaches from all over. We got USC reserving stuff to see us. We got coaches flying out from Miami. Wow. We got coaches from Alabama coming. So we got like the top name schools coming to the city of Detroit. Yeah. And like usually, we don't get that much recruitment because nobody wants to come to Detroit. Nobody wants to come to Michigan. But we got really talented guys. Nice. But now we constantly having the top 15 players in the country. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So now Michigan's sort of on the map. And I'm not saying that's because of us. Yeah, but kids is coming out of our program, going to the NFL, going to the Division I school. So that, and so we take that limelight because that's all football, right? Right. Our main message driver is education, like over anything. So sound mind, sound body. So while we teaching these kids, I love that. Thanks. I love that. We teaching these kids football and stuff, but at the same time, we give them SAT prep. You going to tutoring. You understanding what a meeting is like. So we teaching them how to sit in a meeting in college rooms. Talk to college coaches, how to introduce yourself. And so we took that framework and applied it to just really young kids. And so now we got that, and we bringing in kids, not just kids in high school, but we bringing in like 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 10U, 11U, right? And you have to starting young, like in sports and in education, like you're getting set up for success. And so we developing a mindset to sort of understand, like, okay, I'm really good at football. How can I leverage this and make football work for me and not just work for football? Yeah, and so now what we got is these after-school programs that we putting into schools, which is like, we got people that go work at schools. It's called out-of-school time. So we got these like workbooks and stuff, I guess, that they do, and we just get into school. So not just targeting kids for football, but now we got little girls, little boys. We throw like cheering competitions. Yeah. We own the Little League that I used to play in, that the team started in. We sort of own it now. So we got all the teams under us. And so we throwing championships. We sending kids to Florida. So you're making me really want to live in Detroit. Yeah, you gotta see it. Really cool. Detroit's low key like going up right now. I bet. And also, I'm interested in University of Michigan for law school, and they have a bunch of really cool law clinics where you like go into Detroit and like help people with like educational stuff and then also legal stuff. I'm not even fully sure, but they all sounded really cool. So I was like, maybe I should go. Maybe I'm supposed to be in Michigan, the Midwest next. But I also been realizing like over the past couple of months how like the role that football plays aside from like I guess entertainment and culture, and how it is used for like shaping men, I think, and like shaping men with character, and I think that's really cool. And I don't know, like I don't know, I think the program that you're talking about is like really cool and like has a really cool role. And I didn't, obviously, because I didn't grow up like playing football, and I went to all girls schools and stuff, so like how would I know? But I didn't realize how much of an impact it could have on people beyond like the cheering for teams and stuff. So very, very cool. And I want to like, I feel like to a certain extent there is a disadvantage, because I want to like help everyone, but because I've spent so much time in women-based spaces, and I'm obviously a woman, like I don't know necessarily how to shape young boys into men or like to help them in that way, and I also like don't fully like get the like I'm not in that world. I'm not in that world. So like I want to go into spaces like that to see how they operate and see how they're able to reach people and shape people, because the tools that I currently have are like with my background, like I don't have
the expertise to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you've actually kind of sold Detroit to me.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe I'll be there, slipping on some black ice and
and
doing.
Then, I mean, to give you a little advice on what you're saying, like just utilize what you already have.
That's what I would do, but I feel like you have to know what they need.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what they need yet. Like, I don't know what people need exactly. Or, like, well, I know what they need, but you have to know how to give them what they need and, like, how to best treat them. And I feel like growing up in, like, predominantly white Catholic schools in Los Angeles as a woman is, like, a completely different experience than growing up in Detroit and, like, playing football. So I feel like I have some learning before I can fill in the gaps. And I feel like I'm a pretty open-minded person, and it's not like I wouldn't be able to be an effective teacher or anything like that, but there's still, like, I want to be able to, like, be a teacher for the people that I'm teaching, for the kids that I'm teaching.
So what I tell you is, like, it's important to show them that other perspective, though. Because, like, if they come in, everybody relating to them,
That's
they really
true.
just seeing what people relate to. But I just did an podcast episode with my cousin. He played football here now. His name is Alex Graham. Really good guy. And so we was talking about how if we weren't exposed to the other side, how life would sort of be. So
right.
I told you my exposure to it was like when I got to high school.
Right.
His was sort of younger because he was like, he would get in trouble at school, so he had to go to like, not the alternative school, but like, we got to send you out. So instead of being in school in Detroit, he going to school in Farmington and Bloomfield Hills or whatever. And just taking that drive out of the city.
Yeah.
And you seeing trees, you seeing like nice freeways, you're not seeing debris everywhere, you're not seeing like litter. Just in seeing that, you want to get a taste of it again, right? So it's like, these kids don't understand that life outside of the city exists. So having a fresh perspective, like you just walk in, you can figure the rest out later. But if you just walk in and bring you know what I'm saying, just bring you come in and you show these kids that, oh wow, like people that look like me can do stuff that I've never seen before. So it's like, it is important to have your perspective and to understand, like, you don't know what they need yet, but you won't ever know what they need unless you go into it.
That is true.
There's nothing you can read in a book that can tell you what a kid in Detroit needs. The only thing that can tell you what a kid in Detroit needs is a kid in Detroit, you know what I'm saying, or a kid anywhere. You got to go in there and look at them. And so when you get to the environments and you step into them, you sort of figure out what's needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, But this is supposed to be birthday.
I was just about to say, and I've been timing this too, so like we do need to pivot.
Yeah, let's pivot.
And take it back to, I want to know, how was your past year? What was like the theme for your past year? I feel like it was probably a big one.
It was, and that's crazy. We did the episode in February. Okay, so after that February, March, April, I was in a fashion show. Also got accepted into a program to go to Spain. Did I talk about that in the episode? Okay, so I ended up getting accepted into the program to go to Spain. Went to Spain in May, so February, March, April, May. So May I went to Spain, so 2 months after, so I ended up in Spain. I get to Spain, I get a taste of what that's like. I'm like, wow, this is nice. So Spain was an experience.
Do you speak Spanish?
No, I don't.
No hablas?
No hablas español. Poquito.
Un
poquito. But I got there, and life was just different. You know what I'm saying? My life sort of shifted because I always told myself, once I get a taste of what it's like out the country, I'm good. I got it. I just have to get out the door. I have to get out the house. Now I'm getting it. So I was finding my groove. I'm like, how do I get back out here? And I wasn't really worried about acting like doing everything I could. Because I'm like, it's not going to be my only time out. So I'm like, let me just chill, you know what I'm saying, get adjusted. I end up meeting this lady, Miss, is it Miss Sonia? No. It might be Miss Sonia. I don't know. She reminded me of my grandma, that is no longer with us, but she looked just like her, and so she was one of the tour guides or whatever, and then we just ended up getting super close. And so I don't want to say she took me under her wing, but like I would talk to her because I don't know. I feel like I could relate to her more. Like, I don't know why. But we would just talk, laugh. I would show her stuff. She would tell me stuff. She was telling me about all different things, and so having her guide my first experience was like extremely important because I got back from Spain, spent like 2 weeks in the city, and jumped right back out to London.
Wow.
I ended up going to London to see my roommate, Karn, and Chinedu. They was out there because they live out there. So I went to go see them.
Wow, how'd you get from Spain to London?
I got back from Spain, and Karn had told me before we left school, he wanted me to come see him that summer. I told him already that I'm gonna do it. And so before we left, I was like, look, I'm gonna find my way out there for sure. I don't care how much it costs, I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? So to get back, man, I'm looking at the tickets. They steep. You know what I'm saying? They're out there in the thousands and thousands and stuff. But luckily, I know somebody that works for Delta, and so the person that works for Delta, I'll shout out. I don't know if you want his name here. The guy that works for Delta, my guy, all respect to him. I'm trying to praise him as much without saying his name. Really helped me out. And so he was like, yeah, you can just take my buddy pass. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up paying.
I need someone who works at the airport.
I ended up paying like $700 instead of like $2,000-3,000.
Wow.
And
it's kismet.
yeah, so I get over there $700, and that's for the standby seat. So I got the standby seat. I got the last seat on the plane. Remember that, right? I got the last seat on the plane. The entire plane was full except the last seat, which is the last letter. Like, I'm in the back of the plane. I'm back there with the stewardess and stuff.
Right.
So I'm sitting back there, I'm chilling. I got my movie, my own seat or whatever. Boom, I get out there, and man, I have a ball, bro. I got my own room at this place. I go stay at this house. She stay in the countryside, so being able to experience the countryside was like, yo, this is crazy. So I'm there. We chilling, we laughing, we talking, and he was asking me like find a bunch of stuff I want to do, but I'm like, no, I don't want to be a tourist. You know what I'm saying? I want to live like the lifestyle. So if it takes for me to be bored, we're gonna be bored. If it takes, I just want to walk. You know what I'm saying? Let's just walk around. So we walked around. We went to like bars and stuff. We was drinking, man. We was having fun. You know what I'm saying? Coming in and out the house. Some days we just didn't do nothing. Some days we went into the city and just walked around.
My foot is asleep. Oh my gosh. Sorry.
No, it's good.
Continue.
So we
I'm like stuck.
No, I get it. My foot been cramping lately. Hold on, I don't want to lose my train of thought. So we walk around, we chilling, we cooling, and what happened next?
You're in London.
Yeah,
we
in London, we chilling.
You don't want to be a tourist.
Yeah, so we seeing stuff, laughing, joking, eating good. Oh man, we went to the cigar lounge in the Bavardi Hotel.
Okay.
The Bavardi Hotel, we didn't even know, but it's a 5-star hotel.
Damn.
Over $1,000 per night, right, for a room. And I'm sitting there upstairs in a jogging suit smoking a cigar. The only black man in there. With dreads. I'm in there. We laughing, joking. I got a cigar.
How was the cigar?
It was beautiful. I love cigars.
I don't like cigars.
They cool though. Like we was having so much fun. I got the pictures. I'll show you after. But so yeah, we was doing that. So just experiencing that, just stepping outside of myself. I went over there with like no money too. Like I didn't have the amount of money I should have had, but they put me in a position to where I was just able to live like, you know, you got all this money, you gonna do everything. Like, when you don't have no money, you find experiences that you wouldn't get with money. So
you have to get creative.
Yeah, and so I ended up meeting one of my longtime friends that I had never seen. That's from London. And she was really cool.
How'd you? Cool. Like an Instagram friend or something?
Twitter.
Oh, really are you a Twitter person?
No, I was. I told you I got famous on Twitter before.
You did tell me that.
Yeah, so I ended up meeting her. She's like really cool, really great, and really good friend. I gotta check on her. She's really cool. Yusur is really nice. Met her, we hung out, and then I was out there for 2 weeks. And so I think the weekend before I left, we ended up going to Scotland. So Karn's mom paid for us to go to Scotland. We went to Edinburgh, which is like the city center. And we was walking around. We saw castles. We walked everywhere. We saw castles. I watched the new Bad Boys over there. I've never
seen that before or heard of that. I don't think. I'm not a movie person.
With Martin Lawrence and Will Smith?
No.
Dang, you missing out.
I haven't gone to the movies in over a year.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we saw Bad Boys. We in Scotland walking around, laughing, joking. We even broke apart for a minute, like not on an argument stuff, but we
doing your own thing.
Took our separate ways. I walked to Wingstop. My friend walked somewhere else.
Wingstop.
Somebody walked somewhere else.
Did it taste the same as Wingstop?
No, it tastes different.
In a good way?
It tastes way healthier. I hate it. But it was still good. So that happened, man. We came back and we had fun doing like nothing. You know what I'm saying? We was sitting in the room watching the antique show. having the time of our life. Like we this is
Wow.
we like dang.
Wow.
At first we was kind of bullying.
You
it.
guys weren't high?
No,
or
we was
anything?
sober doing this. We
Yeah.
like, bro, that's funny. So we was laughing at that. We ended up watching Kingsman. We watched because it came on TV. We didn't have anything to hook it up to.
Yeah.
It came on TV, bro. We was just hyped for the Kings. We was like, y'all think part 2 gonna play? Man, I don't know. We was looking for part 2. We still make an inside joke about it today. Like, you think Kingsman part 2?
Is he still your roommate?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I love that guy. We just hung out today. I don't think I ever changed roommates. I gotta graduate with this guy. This is my lifelong friend.
Oh,
Like,
sweet.
it's going nowhere.
Aww.
I refuse to live with somebody. I don't think I could live with anybody else.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah, I don't want to. So, that was that. And I came back home. Had the time of my life. Over summer, I worked with my uncle and stuff, so I was learning a lot of that daily, like seeing what's up with the city and stuff, making money. That happened. I was also in the process of joining the fraternity and stuff.
Yeah.
I can't really go into detail about that. So if y'all really want to know.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to say anything.
Yeah,
but
I can't really go into detail about that. But I will say, through Europe, I was doing it.
Wow.
Like, we had stuff going on that I
Crazy.
had to get done and stuff. So that was that. So that started back then. So when I got to school, woo, you know what I'm saying? That took like the rest. It took the rest of the year. I'm not gonna lie. But in between, I still found like spaces to sort of grow. Like,
Yeah.
I bought the camera that I'm using to record.
It's an amazing camera. I want it.
I bought that.
If you ever wants to sell it to anyone.
I probably would never sell
I
it.
know, and I wouldn't, and I don't think you should ever. It's like you have to keep it forever.
And I got that camera at the Rose Bowl flea market.
It's like, it's a steal.
I saw
It's
it,
a steal.
and I was like, oh man, I gotta get this. I was like, I'm done spending money. I saw that camera, he was like $150. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, you have to get it. You have to get it.
Give it to me, gang. Like, come
Yeah.
on. Like, I bought it, investment. I wasn't able to use it a lot because I was busy, but
Now
I'm
he's
using
outside.
it now.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm boom, 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 going everywhere. And so that really took like the latter half of my year. But the latter half of my year was like really, really dark. And not like because of the fraternity stuff. Like I get depressed, like really deeply depressed at the end of the year. And
I
so
feel that.
I was going through so much. I lost so many people last year.
Oh no.
Like it was.
And do you want them back or like
no, they're dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
tough.
so I was.
Especially like on top of.
Yeah, everything else, and so that was an experience for sure, but it told me to go, that was my sign to go get help, you know what I'm saying? So I started going to therapy and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I go see the therapist and stuff,
Yes.
to sort of like talk about it. I don't know. It worked. If y'all think that, if you're on the fringe about going, you should go, but yeah, I lost another friend from high school, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, like
Yeah.
I was sick.
Grief is
I lost
tough.
some teachers.
And and especially
Yeah.
like because you're not there anymore. So it's that's another layer.
And I'm also not even that good at grieving or doing the grieving process.
Yeah,
So
it's hard to slow down and to
Man.
allow yourself to.
And so it was that, school, you know,
Yeah.
fraternity life and all of that. So, whew. Had a good first half of the year, but the
Yeah.
second half was like, I got in the gym. How about that? I was in the gym. I'm not going to say it was bad, this, and that. I got in the gym. You got to go work out. You know what I'm saying? You got to get stronger at
I mean,
some
I
point.
think though it's okay to let it be bad. Like
Yeah.
I think for me at least, in my experiences, like for so long, like I was going through shitty things, but I was lying to myself. I'm like, no, it's not bad. It's not bad. But I think that it's important to let some things be bad because they
Yeah.
objectively are.
Yeah.
And like you don't want to give yourself cognitive dissonance, number one. But number two, I also think that life is not just joy and sunshine and happiness. I think that life in its totality is good and bad. Like there's darkness and lightness. And I think being able to like embrace that all and like go with the ebb and flow is ultimately like how you, I don't want to say master the human experience because you never do, but I think it's an important exercise at least in like looking at it like, yeah, this shit sucks, but I'm still here. So
Yes. And so one way I like to see it and embody it now is like sort of bisons are the only animal that run towards the storm. So a herd of cows will run away from the storm. Bison face it head on, run into it, and they done with the storm faster than the cows that's gonna get tired and had to experience it anyway. And so that's sort of how I see the year as, and I'm still growing, and I hate the fact that I am because the egotistical part of yourself
You're always
wants to be.
You're always gonna be growing, and last year, so when I went into my sophomore year, I was like, oh no, I get this now. Like I know it's not knocked down immediately. Knocked down immediately. It was a tough year, but like coming into junior year, I've accepted that like obviously each year I enter college, I'm gonna feel more confident and more prepared. But ultimately, I don't know anything because we're always still growing. Like that happens until we die, I think. And I mean, I think old people say that they get to a point where they feel like they get it, like they're more acclimated, but we're always.
I don't want to.
You're never gonna be.
Yourself at that
you're never. You never stop growing. You never stop learning, and like.
And so,
that
latter half was like, also you gotta be able to express outwardly, and
you have to
like face like some problems like
you have to.
One thing I noticed in my life is that I can get away with a lot. You know what I'm saying? Some people just slip by. They don't really got to deal with emotional this, emotional that. But it put me in positions to where, okay, Austin, you got to be emotionally vulnerable. Speak up. Tell people how you feel. Let some people go. And so I'm starting to learn that, and I feel a bit more mature. You know what I'm saying? It's still hard to do because I hate talking. I will avoid you. I will avoid anything that has to do with any type of conflict just because I don't want to deal with it.
But I also think, because I feel the same way, but I think it's important to once again be that bison and like just handle it. Because and then also for me, because I just want everyone to be happy. I want there to be peace. I don't like conflict. I don't like fighting. But I think once again it ties back to the like that's a part of life, and I want to be embracing of all that life has to offer and like experience at all. So you have to, and it also isn't necessary. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. Like dealing with conflict can just be having a tough conversation. And like the more you do it, you're able to shift your perspective, and it becomes less daunting. But you can't escape things. Like you can't avoid it, because it'll catch up later on for the most part, I think.
For sure. All right,
do you want to switch?
I got an idea.
So, how are you feeling about going into your 20th year after having I feel like last year, and the way that life is really just ebbs and flows, but it seems like you had a first semester that was full of light and like new experiences. And then I see the second part, like I'm sure you had to take some of what you learned in the first part and apply that to the tough part, but obviously my Intro to Feminist Theory professor said, like, one of the most profound quotes, but she was just like, from the darkest shadows of grief come some of the most like shimmering and light aspects of life.
That's where diamonds come from.
Okay, period. I didn't know that. But like I feel like, for me at least, whenever I've gone through like really tough times, you have to fight to like to get through it, and then you're able to take those lessons that you learned into the next season.
True.
So what are you bringing with you into your this next decade?
Wow, this is a heavy loaded question. So I'll say, first to finish up like the year for what I was saying, like I got done with all that, the darkness or whatever, and I immediately sort of found that you just gotta jump into things. And so I've always wanted to make money using the camera, right? And I always wanted to have a hustle that makes me money. I never knew what it was gonna be. And I'm like, dang, I'll never find it. And like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? So the camera ended up getting it to work. Oh, I can go to parties and record. Boom, I can get good at it. Wow, people like it. Okay. You got to do a few of them free, and then like once you got a little portfolio, it's sort of like just shoot your price. You know what I'm saying? And so I wanted a price that was fair and affordable, but where I could feel comfortable trying to. And so I don't say that just to say, oh man, I made some money, but I say that to say people like my art. People like the art that I create. So I finished the end of the year on like a higher note, right? And so come out January 1st, life just felt different. I feel like I walked into a portal, and I didn't feel the depression that I was feeling anymore. I felt lighter on my feet. You know what I'm saying? I didn't need anything to make me feel better. And so I was just living and taking opportunities, talking to people. and that was good for like a majority of January, and then like February sort of came in, and it was like, boom, I'm back down again. You know what I'm saying? And
What
so
happened in February?
nothing necessarily has happened, but this week in itself is a very like grief-stricken week for me
Mm-hmm.
because it's the week that I lost somebody that was very prominent to me, and
This week or like a year ago?
2 years ago,
Okay.
but it's this week. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And so,
Yeah.
But like you said before, so things sort of happen for a reason, for us to continue to grow and learn.
And I do want to say that I don't know how I like to go by that everything happens for a reason, but I don't want to say that like I don't want to. I feel like it feels wrong to chalk up like once again like shitty experiences like
yeah.
oh everything happens for a reason. I think that like when bad things happen, they can be bad, but sometimes you have the opportunity to find a light in them or there's a lesson in them. So I just want to say that I don't want to like want it to be like well hunky dory, it's okay, you're learning something. Like,
yeah, and
sometimes shit sucks.
It's hard to see that at first too.
Yeah.
And so
yeah, 100%.
First one was really good actually. I met Big Sean again. I got to interview with him.
Big Sean is, I love his voice.
Big
like,
Sean is really cool.
I love his music. Like,
Yeah,
he's a really.
You gotta see the
cool.
video we did.
Yeah, I have to.
It was really nice. It was really cool. He was giving us some really good advice, and so.
Is he married to Jhené Aiko?
No, they're not married.
Oh.
I think they still dating. I don't know what they're doing.
Sorry to
I should have
interrupt.
asked them.
You can, yeah, you should have.
I should have.
It's fine.
But
okay, next time.
it's crazy that I don't want to say he jinxed me what he was saying, but it was like I could see a lot of myself in him.
Yeah.
Right? And so when he was talking, I was hearing him. He was like, when I was around 19, and 20, or like 19, 20, 21, I was going through like a lot of different stuff. My emotions was fluctuating up and down. I was feeling depressed and this and that. I'm like, dang, I'm around that age right now.
But that's also like hormones. Like you're growing up as a transitional phase.
So true.
Like, he didn't jinx you.
He didn't, but it was sort of like a warning shot to like pay attention. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm like, dang, and like, lo and behold, that next week it was just like, and sometimes you sort of feel like, oh, my luck is run out. But it hasn't ran out.
I feel like you're probably
free up. You know what I'm saying?
To me, it just seems like you have, like, you seem like a lucky person.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have luck, and I also just think that the way that you carry yourself and the way that you treat people, I want to believe that like you're protected. Like you're not like your luck has not run out. And once again, it's a coincidence in that like you weren't expecting to feel badly or darkly again, but like it makes sense because it's an anniversary of death, and like it also could have been you like you didn't want to admit that like you were still grieving or that it was there, like because you didn't have to face it or see it, but because it's the week and like your body keeps score and you also know what the date is, like it hit you because you weren't paying attention to it, you know what I mean? And it's not like you have to hold on to it all year, but like I don't know, I don't think it was a coincidence, and maybe him speaking with you right before and like dropping whatever knowledge he was, it gave you extra tools to navigate the time, and now you're thinking about it in a different light, you know?
Yeah, and so it was like, I think the reason why me going through like these different mood swings and stuff again hurts so bad is because I got a taste of what it felt like without him.
Yeah.
I got a taste of what it felt like without that heavy weight on my shoulders. I felt light on my feet, and life was like, cool, you like that feeling, boom, 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 right. All right, get that back right quick. Now learn how to get it again. You know what I'm saying? And so that happened with everything. When I got to, like I was just saying, when I got out the country, I was there for 10 days. 10 days over, it's like, all right, now figure out how you can do it again. End up getting back out for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And so that is just parallel with you felt good for the entire month of January. Boom, let me get that back right quick. Let me throw some, some adversity up, February and stuff. And so it's, I wouldn't feel the same if I was happy all the time.
And the thing is, and this is something that I've had to accept, and it's really hard. Like, I'm a perfectionist. Like, I want to be at my 100% all the time. I want to be happy and full of energy all of the time. But that is humanly impossible. That is not how humans work. And I think that, once again, I don't want to. This is not Nirvana because like, sorry, I set a timer. Like I don't know fully. Like I'm not speaking about Nirvana, but I think that you begin to walk on like a different level or like where you're embracing your human experience when you feel shitty, but you continue to show up.
Oh man, yeah.
And you show up and it's like I don't feel great, but and I wish that I was as happy as I was 2 days ago. But like I know that if I keep going, somehow that light is going to come back to me. And I also think that in general with mental health, it comes in ebbs and flows. Because I remember the first time, and very similar to you, I was depressed for like 7 years before I got diagnosed, and I was like, when I finally did and I got treatment, I was like, holy shit, like this is what life is supposed to feel like.
Oh,
and I was riding that high, but of course like life happens, and I was so scared of like being depressed again and feeling like not great. But in those ebbs and flows, like I've learned how to navigate the darker times in a more effective way. Like I've learned tools, so like things aren't as bad, and like I have not been as depressed as I was like during that 7-year period. So it's like you learn through each ebb and flow, I think, and no single one is different. No single one is the same. But I think that it's a tough pill to swallow, but like life is going to continue to be light and dark, but it's like learning how to embrace it, which is fucking stupid because like you just want the light all the time.
Literally.
But that's not how it works, and you can't even chase the light all the time either, because it's like then you're just chasing a high.
Yeah.
And like sometimes, like you're supposed to be like in the low, or like I don't know. I feel like you're supposed to accept it. Like you have to accept things.
Look, if you high all the time, you're gonna hit your head.
Exactly. Exactly.
If you high all the time, you're gonna hit your head.
Exactly.
Sometimes life take you low so you can dodge something that would have knocked you down
100%.
anyway. So it's all about recognizing the blessings and the timing of things. You know what I'm saying? It's still early in the year. None really shaking.
No.
Get this depression in right now. You know what
exactly.
I'm saying? So
it's still the winter. Like it's a very valid reason. Like you're still in school. School's a lot. Like you're going through.
Yeah, I'm going from 19 to 20.
Exactly. Once again, like we're still.
I just left a decade of my life.
And
you know what I'm saying? I went from 9 to 10.
Yeah.
10 to 19.
Now you're 20.
Now I'm 20. Now I gotta go 20, 29. So who knows? When I turn 29, going on 30, I might be really depressed. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I'm not gonna say
let's
really
not
depressed, but I'm saying I'm gonna be grieving and shedding that decade.
Yeah.
So I probably just shedded a decade of stuff, and I'm shedding it right now. I'm not even gonna say I'm all the way cool. I'm still on the fringe. My emotions still volatile, but it don't change overnight. Two, like things that don't seem like they can be true end up being true. Like, your body know what the hell 10 years is.
Exactly.
Your body understands that it's been 10 years and you going from this 19 to 20. And numbers are extremely important and they work in ways that we do not understand. So spiritually, not on the religious level, but spiritually on the universe level, it's something out there that regulates our own body clock.
Can I tell you something? And this is what I was going to say.
Yeah.
As humans, because we're in control and we have this consciousness and like we have our world or whatever, we forget that we're also nature.
Yeah.
The trees don't stay green and lush all year.
Yeah.
Flowers grow and they die. Like there are crop seasons and then non-crop seasons. I'm not a farmer, so I don't fully know the right lingo. But like our body, like we're pieces of nature. We come from nature, and so I feel like there are things that we're not in control of because they're not ours to control.
Yeah.
And what you were saying, I think, is really profound. Like your body knows what it's doing. Your body knows what it's going through.
Yeah.
And it's probably true. I feel like I'm sure in the past 5 years, who you were 5 years ago and who you now, like you've grown a lot. Like you've grown like in a positive way, like a lot, and like you likely are shedding stuff, and especially coming out of the second half of your year, like you might still be processing some of that stuff and like shedding it so that way you can continue to grow and like thrive in a positive light. But
and it's the body just transitioning phases of life, because it gotta go one day, but I think the body just goes. I don't
Yeah.
think the soul really go with the body. I think you are you. You like the speck, and that just gives life to this meat sack. But it gotta go eventually, and so it's so crazy how we can make ourselves feel whatever size we want. Some days I'm a giant. I'm 80,000 feet tall. You know, so I'm this big guy that control everything. Right now, I feel like a little speck on Earth that's in the universe, and in the universe inside another universe, or wherever the hell we at. I don't know where we at, but I'm this big right now.
But I feel like
And-
we're always that big. Like
Yeah.
if we're, because I like to think that like we're all souls. Like, and that's why I'm like, people can't really. I don't want to say this, but like I feel like there's something special and like beautiful about everyone. And if we didn't have the shells that's our outer, like I feel like everyone would probably get along. I don't know. We would probably have more peace. But I think that we're always
But
like
this we got
who we
something to
are in our
compare.
souls.
We got something to compare to now.
What do you mean?
Because souls are souls. Souls
Right.
have no identity. They just matter and energy. But now that we in this form, I'm Austin. I have this identity or whatever. Boom, 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 boom. I'm able to distinguish myself from you.
But, I guess, because I think, I've always thought that, like, if we didn't have these identities and these outer things, like, and we were just our souls, like, we would be able to, I guess, like, love each other more easily because we didn't have these other things
These
that are...
differences.
Yeah, but I guess it's a cool point, too. Like, if we didn't have these outers, then we would all be more of the same. That's a cool... Wow.
Yeah. And so,
Yeah, I guess it's... Yeah.
Oh man. I really like the first half of the year. Well, I really like this part of the year I'm in right now. I need to get back. Well, no, it came and it went. But I sort of found myself in a kid's space again, like my own space. And I started watching WWE again. I started watching.
I did a research paper on that.
WWE.
Yes, the commodification of human life. I did not choose a topic, but
dude,
I had to watch so much. Like,
I could just told you everything you need to know. WWE is amazing. I love Jeff Hardy. I love Rey Mysterio. RVD, man, Ultimate Warrior, all them guys, man, everybody there, man. JBL, what's his name? Christian, I forgot his name. John Cena, of course, Randy Orton, Triple H, Shawn Michaels.
wow.
I go on and on, bro. These guys, bro. R-Truth, Shane McMahon.
Yeah, I know the McMahons.
McMahons are funny, bro. All these guys and gals, The Undertaker, Kane. Like, I could just go on and on about these guys, and they brought me back to a space where I felt safe. You know what I'm saying?
Your inner child. It's important to embrace and to keep alive your inner child.
Yes.
Childlike playfulness, guys. Get into it.
Go outside, you play, you frolic around, you'll notice how much happier you are.
And you want to know what's really funny? And I've noticed this within, like, I guess, like, the black men that I've been surrounded by. A lot of my friends from home, they've been returning to this childlike playfulness. Like, one of my friends, he just, like, takes himself out to, like, go paint. And, like, he's a painter. And, like, we saw this set. I convinced them all to go see the sunrise. But, like, they're doing yoga and stuff. And I don't know. I think it's cool, this returning to, like, yourself. And I saw this quote that, like, it was like growing up is basically just returning to who you were when you were a kid, but like not feeling ashamed about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's really true, and it's cool that you're going through that, and I encourage you to continue.
Yeah, did I ever answer your question? What'd you say that you got from being 20? What did you ask?
What happened?
The question, the first question.
Oh, like what are you bringing into your 20th year?
Alright, so we're bringing the inner child for show. You know what I'm saying? That's coming into the 20th year. You know, developing relationships. I know a lot of people, but I want to sit down and cultivate relationships.
Yeah, I want to do the same thing.
You know, so now I'm building rapport with people. You know what I'm saying? I always know people that was able to give stuff to me, but I'm like, I have intention behind.
How do you do that?
Start small, bro. You want to go get coffee, you want to go get lunch, you want to hang out. Boom, y'all just start talking. You know, you do it again, but not in an overbearing way where every time you go out, y'all party. Because now, what you identify that person with is partying. But if you go out, you get lunch with somebody, you go on a date, you know what I'm saying? It ain't got to be no date with no girl, no flowers, no kissing, no touching. But it could be like, we just go on this date, man. Come on.
Facts.
We going to the museum, we hanging out.
Cute.
And you do that once or twice, and you do it again a few more times. You just sort of you get to know this person, and then you can really call them your friends instead of somebody that you just know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, like my boy Mariano, this is a great example. Me and Mariano, we never really talked. You know, we talked, but we was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Not like when I seen him, we talked. And so what happened, man? I think I was walking back to my room or something, and I was listening to music out loud. And he just stopped me and asked me what I'm listening to and stuff. I was like, man, I'm listening to this. And we alright, bet. So I listened to some songs he wanted me to listen to. So we listened to outside, watching everybody pass by. And so that was cool. And so did I get him on? I think I see him again. We had a really good conversation. We ended up talking like an hour or something. Oh, and I went to my next class, but in my next class, I journaled about the conversation. And I told him about it, and then he was like, what? And so somehow I ended up getting him on the podcast, and then he told me I inspired him to get a journal, so now he got a journal.
Oh my
so
gosh.
I seen him at the party I hosted, and he actually pulled up. He left before he got jumping because he had to go see his friends or whatever, but he told me he was going to pull up. That's a great guy you keep around.
Is he in your grade?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so what I love about Mariano is I tell him he inspired me too. He made me want to go out the country more too. Like, he already been out the country just by himself. Just he told me that his girlfriend broke up with him when he was in like high school or like college, like last year or something. And he was like, fuck it, I'm going to Italy, and got up and went. I'm like, damn. He's like, yeah, I just saved up a bunch of money and went. And so that's what I see myself getting into. I just want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I still want to be myself.
Yeah.
But I want to incorporate that.
Yeah.
And so having people like that around help you incorporate things into your life. Like my boy Giovanni. He doing everything right now. But I'm so proud of that dude. I just seen him the other day when we sat down and talked for a little bit. But he blowing up right now in the music world.
Really?
I'd love to see that. You know what I'm saying? I hope he gets to wherever you want to go. He was just in Paris for New York Fashion Week. That was really cool. I'll talk about this in my last video. I'm sorry I keep bringing it up, but it was just last week, so I can still talk about it. Like, okay.
It's your birthday.
Yeah. So I'm just bringing like cultivating relationships into my 20th, and you know, I just know like when the clock hit 12, it just felt different. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how or why, but I'm done thinking of things like, oh, that's impossible. Cause it just hit, just because it hit 12 don't mean nothing. Person, just because it hit 12, things can change. That 1 minute is a difference. And you know, that's just to keep track of time. Like, really think about it. On this day, I was born. Like, my body is remembering, like, dog, we came, like, into the world, like, on this day, like, on this date. You know what I'm saying? And so, it's like, bruh, what? We can't enter Earth.
Yeah.
Like, hypothetically, February 7th, I wasn't on Earth. Or I'll say February 6th, because my mom wasn't living for like 14 hours. So February 6th, I wasn't on Earth. I was
labor for 14.
She was living forever. So I was in the tummy on February 6th. February 8th, I was on Earth like myself, outside the tummy. What the hell? You know what I'm saying? Now I'm here 20 years ago, and my body's like, bro, dang, we came out 20 years ago. Dang. And so it's like you were saying, it keep coming. And so I want to take more things into consideration when I'm not overthinking things, but I feel different because I just turned 20. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can see that things are about to change because my body feels different. Your body tells you everything you need to know. And this morning they told me, dog, hey, things about to shift for the greater good. You know what I'm saying? No, we ran out of time.
Oh no.
Running out of time.
Well, we can finish it up. Do you want to sit back at the table?
Okay. Everybody, I'm sorry. I gotta end the episode right here. I apologize.
What is your one word for your 20th year?
Wealth.
Okay, period.
That's it. Oh, wealth? I thought you meant my next decade.
Okay.
Next decade
is wealth. Next year. The
next year is learn.
There we go.
All right, so I had 2 minutes left.
Happy birthday, Austin.
Thank you. Just to explain to you right quick. Recording on film, you only get so much time, so I use my hour. If you're that interested, you watch the whole thing to get here, then you should subscribe. And you know, if nobody ever gets here, nobody ever know I said this. Thank you, Samara.